before we get started, how many of you guys have ever seen Star Wars? Okay, yeah, right. So, I have to tell you, when I was a kid, I was not a really big Star Wars girl. I was actually I was the only girl in my family for a really long time. I grew up amongst a lot of boy cousins. I'm gonna get the microphone. Can y'all hear me, or do I need to get the microphone? Because we're recording. So I'm gonna walk around a little bit. I don't like standing in front of a podium. Is that okay with y'all?
Yeah.
You told me how to do this. How about that? Is it on? Yeah? Okay. All right. So I was the only girl amongst a bunch of boy cousins. And so whenever I would go to hang out with my cousins, most of the time I didn't really get much of a vote in what we played. So it was either Transformers or wrestling or Star Wars. Meanwhile, I wanted to play Barbies, or I loved like Jim and the holograms. I'd be like, let's be Jim and the holograms. You can be the holograms. And you're like, no. So most of the time we could play Star Wars, and I liked Star Wars better than Transformers or wrestling, because when we played Star Wars, I got to be Princess Leia, right? So Princess Leia was the best because she is like this kick A** boss chick, right? She could beat the stormtroopers, she could slay all the villains, and she was a princess. And she could do it all wearing like this long, I don't know what that robe thing was that she wore. And I'm like, how do you kick people? I would trip in that thing, right? And she had the bomb buns, right? Who didn't love the buns? Clearly, I still haven't gotten over the bun thing. I just have consolidated and streamlined. But when I was a kid, I loved wearing the buns, and I would ask my mom to wear the buns to school like almost every day. To the point where little boys would come up to me like, oh, you're making Minnie Mouse, right? I'm like, no, get it right. This is Princess Leia. Right. So the thing about Star Wars that I did learn by playing with my cousins was that it was all about Luke Skywalker getting the Force, right? Discovering the Force, he's on the quest for the Force, may the Force be with you, all of the things, right? And I think that is what most of us are trying to do for our whole lives. We're on this quest to discover the Force in our lives, right? But the Force is really the same thing he was looking for, like, what is my purpose? Why am I here? What is this thing that I can discover in my life so that I can conquer the thing that I'm here for, right? We're all trying to figure this thing out. And we think that it's this big, mythical thing that we're put on this earth for, and it's this one thing that we've got to find out what it is, right? And once we find it, it's like the Holy Grail. Anybody feel like that? Okay. Well, so when you signed up for this workshop today, you may have come in here thinking that I was going to pull out this magical wand and I was going to wave it across the room and you would discover your Holy Grail, your purpose for today. And I have to tell you, I'm sorry, I left that magical wand in my other purse today. I am not going to be able to do that for you. Now, some of you may walk out of here today and discover what your purpose is. And if you do that, that's like the bonus, okay? But what I am going to do is hopefully help you to figure out how to take the business that you have today and connect it with the things that matter to you the most, and also tie that with the purpose that you are going to begin to discover if you haven't already figured it out today, and tie that into a nice big bow that will help to attract the right customers to you that will stick with you for the long haul and open up their wallets to you on a continuous basis. Now, does that sound like something you want to hear about? Okay.